Hey everyone, I wanted to recognize our sponsor, Traver Connect. Two words ring true for all of us in the automotive service space: the phones. When we hear those words, we instantly all sigh. Because as much change as our industry has seen, we still getting overwhelmingly amount of calls. No need to sigh though. That's where a good BDC comes in handy, doesn't it? I know the team at Traver Connect personally, and these guys get it, and they can help you build your service BDC. Or you can use their team to catch the calls you miss from well-trained team of agents that they have. Or have them make outbound calls and set new appointments. Give Traver Connect a call today. As they say, revenue doesn't leave a message at the beep. Reach out to the team at Traver Connect at traverconnect.com. Dynatron Software is also an important sponsor for the Fixed Ops Mastermind podcast. As both technology and the auto industry continue to evolve, every dealership needs to ask themselves a very important question. Am I in the forefront or stuck in the past? Dynatron Software offers the latest in data analytics, business tools, and pricing optimization. Contact them for more info. Sales at dynatronsoftware.com. Guys, as always, help spread the message of the Fixed Ops Mastermind podcast. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. That helps us to spread the word. Also, make sure to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast app. Get the new episodes as soon as they're released. And now, here's another episode for you. Welcome back, everybody, to the Fixed Ops Mastermind podcast. Today, I'm excited to have as my guest Matt Crump. The thing that attracted me to Matt is the first sentence in his About section on LinkedIn, which is, would you like the key to unlocking abundance in your business, career, and life? And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today, amongst whatever else happens to come up. Matt, thank you very much for being with us.
Thanks. Glad to hear the About section worked for somebody. It was you.
It was me. I am the one.
That one line I was hoping somebody'd say,
yeah, that's it. You found him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to have you here. For those of you for those who do not know who you are and what you do, want to give a little brief synopsis of yourself?
Yeah, that's pretty tough for a guy who likes to run his mouth, but I would say the long story short is I've been through many, many different things in my life, from drugs and alcohol to the war and the military. I started in the Army, to owning many businesses and being an entrepreneur, to being a pastor for over 30 years, a counselor, a coach, a consultant, a degree in marketing, sales, and services, a degree in theology and biblical counseling. I was a singer-songwriter and signed to a recording contract and traveled all around the world singing and speaking, and done all kinds of crazy stuff. Even Windows. I've done Windows. Yes, I've done those too. So that's been pretty fun. That's the long story short. But my whole focus in life now, since the last 9 years of my life, I've been battling cancer, stage 4 since 2015 was the last of the biggest battles. My most recent surgery 5 months ago with my second brain surgery. I asked for an upgrade, but they didn't hook me up. So that's kind of as good as I'm going to get. But my focus, my 25-cent statement is that I love to help people overcome life obstacles so they can achieve their number one goal and live a life of abundance. So for me, it's obstacles, goals, and abundance are the three big things that I love to work with folks in, because those are the three main things I've always had to work through in my own life. And so it's been pretty awesome to be able to share that with folks. And I tell folks this, I definitely know what not to do. So you want to talk to me, I can save you a whole lot of problems if you just just listen to what I say.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat. I traveled down that wrong road for a long time. I'm about three and a half years sober or so myself. Great. So yeah, it makes a difference in your life. That's for sure. And amazing what you can what you can start to accomplish when you're sober enough to remember what you said. So
You're straight. Man, okay, what did you say?
yeah,
I just blame brain cancer now. I don't remember that.
yeah. Oh man. So
I just said that now I'm just busted. Now my wife will be like, I heard that. I
heard that. Yeah, he's kidding. He's kidding.
What did I say?
So I'll remind you, you said obstacles, goals, and abundance. And it's obstacles I'm sure you feel are opportunities for people. But it's about getting them to change their mindset, right? And how they look at those obstacles, so they can see them as opportunities to make a change or do something different to get around that.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely not the way you look at it when you're facing the obstacle. Most of the times, it's not the time you sit and you're like, man, this is going to be fantastic. Can't wait to go through this. Oh, stage 4 cancer. Sweet. Where do I sign up for that? Right. So, obviously some obstacles that we face aren't exactly, the three-ring circus. It could be quite a major ordeal. And many times we're either ignorant to the fact that we can overcome them, or we don't want to overcome them, we don't want to face them, or we're too prideful, too proud to even take somebody else's help to be able to accomplish getting around it or over it, right? So it takes a lot of work, and it takes the right kind of people to help you sometimes to get through what those obstacles might be.
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, a lot of people talk about the education system and how it needs to change in what we teach the youth coming up and things that they can actually use in their life. And that's probably one of the things that could be most useful to them is knowing not just when to ask for help, but how to ask for help when you need it. I can think of at least 1,000 times in my life when if I had just reached out and asked for help, it would have made a dramatic change in where my life went and how easy something came to me. And I think most people miss that, and they don't reach out for help because they start thinking, well, I should know that.
Right.
I don't want to feel inferior or appear inferior. So I'm not going to ask about that because I should know it. So.
Well, that's what most people are like, unless you just don't know, right? It's that unconscious incompetence part. But I mean, I recently had a client of mine who said, hey, look, here's my problem. I've never been able to ask for help before. And right now I'm asking. I'm in a weird position in my life. I'm thinking, wow, how crazy is that, that we have allowed our culture, our places of life, our families, our upbringings to feel that asking for help is a weird thing. Like, why is it so weird? What's the weird thing about it? I mean, I get it. I mean, there's going to be things in my life I'll be like, I don't know if I should. Dave probably thinks that I should already know how to do that. I mean, I shouldn't. If I ask him, I feel stupid, right? I get that part. But at the end of the day, I mean, wouldn't it be great if we had the culture that if it was easy to ask questions?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I grew up, we had the thing where, it was told there's no stupid questions. I remember hearing that a lot when I was growing up. And I felt like it was a stupid question, but I knew that I could ask it because there's no stupid questions, right? So I might as well ask.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And at some point that kind of got turned around, right? I lost my thought that I was going to say on that.
We have so much access to information today, like social media is out there, Google, all this kind of stuff. So like, you should already know the answer to that, or you just go Google it. What do you mean you don't know, right?
Right. Yeah, and that's what I was going to say was after 30 something years in the automotive business, I have questions every single day, and I'm not afraid to ask them. At one point in my career, I was very afraid to ask questions, thinking that I should already know something, and that's one of the situations where I think I could have gotten further ahead than I was if I had asked some questions, and rather than just going, oh boy, I should know this. I don't want to ask this guy this because he'll think I'm an idiot. So. Yep. So if I go back into automotive with the obstacles, every day, people are facing obstacles, whether it's a customer coming in that's facing the obstacle of something simple of needing a ride away from the dealership, or if it's a technician that is having a hard time diagnosing an issue. What's really the first step in being able to start to overcome an obstacle?
Yeah, I get asked that question a lot lately, and my answer is the first thing to do to overcome an obstacle is to first believe you can, that it's possible. It doesn't mean that it's easy, but it does mean that it's possible. And there's obviously people out there that have gotten through some of those things. I mean, heck, I was telling somebody the other day, there's a piece of machinery somewhere that says "Made in America," sitting on Mars. Okay, so I mean, there's things that are possible that weren't possible before. So come on, guys. I mean, there's a chance to do it. So I mean, the first thing you have to do is believe that it's that you can, that it's possible to get through this, and then obviously to find the way to do that. Whether it's going to be through a person, through a book, through a source, through something, right? There's got to be a way to find how to overcome that obstacle, because many times we either can't do it on our own, or it'll take you 10 times longer to do it than if you just would have found some help, right?
Right. Yeah, I think that's probably something that that society over the last bunch of years has kind of convinced people that you don't necessarily need to work hard to get somewhere. Whether it's overcoming an obstacle or being successful or whatever, there's a lot of the appearance that it's easy. And
right. I've never heard them say, "Work harder, not smarter." Wait,
right.
I go the other way around, right?
Right. And rarely is anybody that's successful did they ever have an easy road to that success. I'm sure they're out there. I'm sure it exists, but rare is that case. It is usually a lot of obstacles and things in their lives that they have to go after. And so the next thing that you're big on is goals. And so I'm sure setting goals is big in that scenario. How do you coach people through an actual an accurate setting of goals, if you will, an attainable set of goals? Sure. that they would set up?
It's pretty easy for most cases for people to say that they are a dreamer or have a dream of some sort. Some people say they don't. I mean, but for the most part, people have some kind of a dream where they want what they want, right? So I think it really starts with not necessarily the dream, but that's the beginning part, but a great intention. So there should be some sort of a great intention, an intentional thing, right? Like, this is my passion. Like, I was made to fill in the blank. I can never stop thinking about whatever. I created this thing in my garage and it's going to be the best thing in the world, whatever, right? Okay, so you got this great intention. Then it becomes a goal, right? Like, I've got to make sure this happens. So for example, let's say you take a couple things, but one would be with cancer. Like for me, like Mr. Crump, you've got cancer. Okay, that's great. Mr. Crump, you got 8 months to live. Oh boy. Okay. So now I've got this amount of time that you just told me I have to live. I've got this disease that's supposed to kill me. So what can I do? All right. I can start these treatments here. I can get this surgery here. I can start eating better with this. I can start exercising that. I can convince my wife to take me on some trips on the bucket list so I can get out of it using the cancer card. We go to Scotland and Ireland. Woo, did that. And then, all kinds of great stuff that you can do that are part of these goals. But if you don't ever do something called action, then those goals never turn into reality, right? So for me, it's so important to have the dreams, the intentions laid out first, so that we can get to what those goals are, those milestones, those benchmarks, those places, those lines in the sand. And then you actually start something. You have an action that is the cause and effect. You actually say, okay, now we're going to do this thing, right? So for me, it all starts back to the dream. I love to know people, their hearts, their ideas, their passions, things of those natures, because that helps you to hear what the dream may be, unless they already can just spit it out. And a lot of people can, some folks can't. Mm-hmm. And to be able to identify what those things are, to start laying out what some of those goals might be.
Yeah, you certainly need to know where you're going, right, or where you want to end up
Yeah,
before you can actually take action on a goal, and turning it from a dream to a goal, which you do with your action.
Well, I mean, look at Henry
Um,
Ford. Just like you work at Ford, so Henry Ford started making cars, and he wasn't the only one making vehicles. Matter of fact, Studebaker was making some serious good vehicles back then. There were high end luxury cars made by hand, and they didn't make a lot of them. So Henry was making some cars, but he thought, man, if I could make a lot more and make them faster, I could turn more out and sell them for cheaper. And boom, you've got an assembly line. And then boom, you've got a guy who wasn't making the only vehicle in the world, but all of a sudden now he's the only vehicle in the world, right? He's got this massive thing out there. And it came with some of those plans, those goals, those intentions that had to be put in place.
mm-hmm. And he had some obstacles to get over because that wasn't first time success for him. He had a couple other partnerships that failed,
Right.
and some of which was his own doing, that caused the failure that he had to get by to get to that successful point.
Yeah, he had a couple of opinions.
Yes, yeah, just a couple.
Yeah.
And I mean, he had his famous phrase that you could get any color you wanted as long as it was black.
Yeah.
And he actually did that because black was the fastest drying color. So to your point of having the assembly line, he needed to turn them out fast to become number one, and that was the only way he could do it. So you had to get black because it dried fast. So.
And they used to shoot that paint out. Boy, we're doing some old automotive history, but they used to have like giant fire hoses of paint just would go through. And they just splat them all over the place. There was never any like perfect finish back then. They were all just sprayed with these hoses, and they would just ride through and come out and there. It's painted. What more do you want? It's black, right? And so it's wild. Imagine all the waste, and imagine if OSHA was around back then. And
oh boy,
we wouldn't be driving Fords today, probably.
No, definitely not.
The wild stuff. But he had an idea, and
yes, he did.
He executed those ideas, and that's what made him somebody we're talking about today.
Yeah, absolutely. He had that dream, and he took action on it to get somewhere.
That's right.
And that takes us to the third thought or word, which is abundance, which is kind of a big word in itself, but I think it's a word that's kind of shrouded in mystery for a lot of people. I'm sure they've heard the word abundance, and maybe they have an idea of what it is. But I think there's a lot of people, and this kind of goes back to the it's easy kind of thing. There's been certainly a lot of information out there that would make you think, I just need to think about having a few $1 million and I will have a few $1 million. It will come to me, but it doesn't work like that, right?
Man, I'd be a gazillionaire by now. Yeah, no, it's definitely a difference. Abundance is a big word. It's a big word that scares many people. It can evoke fear, lack, doubt, frustration, anger, envy. I mean, there's all kinds of things that can come around that word when you first start thinking about it. But at the end of the day, abundance isn't about a financial standpoint. It's part of it, but that's not what it's about. It's about having a lot. Obviously, the word abundance is about having a lot of things in your life. It could be family, friends, health, vivacious life, ideas, wisdom, toys in the garage. I mean, whatever. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. And yes, even money, right? So abundance is a pretty big word. And, to be able to have the abundance. So abundance for me is like when you have more than enough, that you want to try to give stuff away, but you can't give it away enough because you still have enough. Right. So it's like this whole givers get mentality for what I talk about is givers get. It's like, for me, I'm a follower of Christ. So I say you can't ever outgive God. There's been times I'm just like, man, honey, I don't know if we're going to have the money and this, that, and the other. I'm going to end up giving some money to somebody, their electric bills, thing, whatever. But we didn't really have the money either. You give the money away and all of a sudden, I didn't know we had $500. Where'd that money come from? I don't know where. I thought you had $500. I don't know where it came from either. Right. Or I didn't know who paid this bill or who did this. You just never know. I mean, right? But by putting stuff in motion, by living out this act of giving, which is what abundance is really all about, it brings to you things, right? Givers get. Now, you don't just give to get. There's a big difference, but givers that have a heart of giving get. So that's about, and it's not always money. It could be that it's a service, an opportunity. It's life. There's so many different things about abundance that make it so good. You think about somebody who lives in a third world country, who looks at you and I sitting here in a podcast in our nice studios, our nice homes, with our nice equipment, with the car you drove home in tonight. I mean, all these things that are so nice, with that nice hoodie you have on that wasn't $5, that with those nice headphones that cost more than $30 with, right? I mean, all these things that are thinking, I can't even afford the cable that plugs into that microphone. That's abundance. I mean, in the United States of America, we're some of the richest people in the world. And that even includes people that are on minimum wage, right? So it's learning about how we can have gratitude for things in our lives, to be thankful for what things we have. My son today, I don't want to admit this, but it's true. This morning, he was supposed to put the garbage out to the curb. And I had already pre-planned the garbage for him and got it halfway there because I had to put something in there. And I got in the vehicle, and he got ready to jump in the car to go to school. And I said, "Hey, bud, put that to the curb." He goes, "What?" I said, "Put it to the curb." He goes, "But you work at home. You're here all day long. Why can't you put it out to the curb?" And I thought, wow, you are really living in some abundant life, son, and you don't even know it. Isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. And there's so many times that we can be blinded by the things that we do have, that we forget to take inventory and stock of what's really there and find out how rich we really are.
Yeah, absolutely. And no matter how rich you become, you're still you when you get there, right? So if you started miserable and think that that acquiring lots of toys in the garage or money or anything else is going to change that, you're sadly mistaken. Unfortunately, you're still going to be you, and you're still going to be the miserable person that you started out with. You're just going to have a lot more money to spread the misery around with.
That's right.
So
yeah, I've seen a lot of very wealthy people over the years of my life kill themselves, and you would think, how could somebody with that much money possibly want to kill themselves? Because money doesn't answer everything. It's not the solution. It's a big thing for folks to understand truly what that means. And there's a lot of things we can go down the road in that one as well. But coming back to abundance, it's being able to have that mindset, that place in your mind, your heart, your spirit, to say, look, I'm so grateful for what I do have. Yeah, I've got wants, of course. I want stuff that I don't need, but I'm very grateful for what I do have.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, living in this country, we sometimes lose sight of that, right? Because it's easy to look to your neighbor and see that they have something that you want, and to think that you are somehow in lack because of that. When you are far from lack in this country. Certainly there are some people who are in need of more things and more help. But for the most part, this country is very, very abundant, and opportunity is everywhere.
Many countries in the world there's a lot that are, and there are some that are really rough. And I think that for the countries like ours that are not, there's great opportunities for us to help those that aren't, those that can't do it, those that need a hand, right? And sometimes they don't just want you to give them something for nothing. Sometimes they just need some help so they can do it too. And it can really change a lot when we live in an abundant mentality, not just living it, but actually teaching it, right? So folks can understand what it means to do that, so that you can be content with what you have, where you're at. And then when you're in that position, then anything else is just a bonus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like you said, when you're in that space, it is amazing how things do seem to come to you.
Yeah.
When you are really, really thirsty and really, really wanting a glass of water, you can't find water anywhere. But when you are sitting there content, it seems that everybody has water and everybody's offering you a drink. So
Yeah, that's right.
it is about staying in that space. So, Matt, where can people find you if they want to start working through their obstacles, goals, and abundance with you?
Yeah, the easiest place, a couple of things. One would be LinkedIn. I kind of live there during the day. That's my office past couple of years. So easy to find me on LinkedIn. But then obviously the next place you would think of would be my website, which is Matt Crump, my name, mattcrump.tv. That's the easiest place to find me and everything that I'm able to do and in my life right now, all my resources and all my stuff and things and all that nature is all there. So you can find all that through that portal there at mattcrump.tv or of course on LinkedIn. I'm easy to find there.
Excellent. LinkedIn is a great resource to find many great people and where I originally found you. So
it worked. Right?
That's right. It worked.
It worked.
Matt, thank you very much for being with us today. It was very insightful, and I'm sure everybody is going to get some great stuff out of this.
Well, I surely hope so, and I appreciate you too, Dave, for what you've done. I know you work a long day, and then you jump on the mic here and still keep on going. So I appreciate the tenacity that you have to share your heart with other folks too. And it's just amazing. That's abundance, right? I mean,
that's right.
You could choose not to, but you choose to because it's part of the abundance in your life, and I appreciate that about you.
Yeah, trying to spread the message further than just the people that I touch at the dealership. So I thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt. Not to mention some of the folks that might think that you have a plot against them for selling them a car or something like that. Who knows?
That's right.
Why'd you make me buy this car? I don't know why I came here to this dealership.
The fun times. Well, Matt, thank you very much. I appreciate you hanging around late to chat with me and making this work with your schedule. And I look forward to speaking with you again.
Yeah, same here, Dave. Thanks so much for having me on the show today. I appreciate it.
All righty. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye. Well, that was a great conversation with Matt Crump, getting into the side where we have to go after our obstacles, see them as opportunities, find a way to get by them. As the sign behind him said, win, lose, learn. That's what we need to be striving for. There are no real losses in life as long as you have learned something from the experience. Get some goals set out, which he told you starts with a great intention and a dream. So lay those out, figure out what your intentions are with your life, and start setting actionable steps that you can take to move toward those goals. And living in abundance. It does not mean that you're rich, that you have a lot of money, that you have 14 Lamborghinis. It is simply, as Matt put it, living in a giving lifestyle. You will be amazed how that changes your life. And very grateful that he was here and could impart some of that wisdom on us. It was a terrific conversation. I'm sure you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please go leave us a 5-star written review a 5-star review and a rating on Apple Podcasts. That helps to make sure that we get this podcast out as far as we possibly can to as many people as we possibly can. And a big thank you to our sponsors, Traver Connect. They can help you either set up a complete remote BDC. They can help you set up a hybrid BDC where you have some people and they're picking up additional calls or they're doing declined work calls. There's a lot of different options that they have. Reach out to them and they will have a solution to help you with. and also to Dynatron. Dynatron, they are in the business to help your dealership make boatloads of money. So reach out to Dynatron. They have a lot of different systems that can help you, and they are always on the quest for the perfect RO. So we thank very much Dynatron and Traver Connect for sponsoring this podcast. And until next time, take care. Another information-packed session of the Fixed Ops Mastermind podcast is in the books. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your support. Remember to download Fixed Ops Mastermind podcast on your favorite podcast app and to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. We thank again our sponsors, Dynatron Software and Traver Connect. Make sure you guys visit them. They've got some incredible products to help your dealership excel. Until next time, thanks for joining us.